Hi, I'm going to show you how I made the glitch sounds in the Glitch.cool logo videos that I posted up last week. There's a two-step kind of process for these. The first is taking advantage of Ableton's warp modes, and the second is using Renoise to randomize sample playback and then bouncing that output through a little free plugin called DFX Scrubby. So I've got Ableton open here. The best sort of recordings to use for this part of the process is anything mechanical sounding, anything with a bit of impact, maybe a bit of a metallic quality to it. I've got here recordings of my clothes dryer, which I posted up as part of my Noisevember videos. This was number 24. So I'll just play a couple of sections of this back so you can hear it. So lots of good mechanical kind of noise. Sounds really good, and it's perfect for this kind of process. So this is really simple. I'm going to grab a section here, put on the warp mode, and then leave it on the default setting, which is the beats, transients, and ping pong loop mode, and then drag it out to about double its length, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I mean, that's immediately sounds really nice. We can put an OTT and a limiter on here, crush all those dynamics, get it sounding really crushed. So I tend to prefer the transient mode. I find that the note modes on the beats warp option are a little too structured. It's too kind of patterned to get a good sort of randomized, very mechanical kind of glitch sound. The forward loop option, as opposed to the ping pong, gets you a little bit more impact on each hit. So that sounds great. That's a very kind of mech transformer kind of robotic kind of movement going on there. So the other kind of sample that works really well for this process is anything kind of textural. So I have here a recording of a plastic jar of maggots. So lots of movement, very textural, and this kind of textural sound, as opposed to these more heavy impact sounds, tend to shine a little more when you bring the transpose up as well as the warp. So yeah, sounds brilliant, and obviously then you can start to layer these up a little bit. Cool, sounds great. So the second way I made some of the sounds for the logos was using random sample playback in Renoise and then pushing that output through a free plugin called DFX Scrubby. So I have a folder here. I've split all the dry recordings into shorter samples. I'm going to drag those into my Renoise sampler here. So the default way Renoise sets this up is it assigns a sample to each note. So as I play a C, it plays the first sample, C sharp, and then up the keyboard So we don't want to do that. What we want is it to play a random sample no matter what key is pressed. So the way we do that is I'm going to select all of them, click layer. So now it's layered every sample to every key, so it will play back all of the samples on any key press. So I think it has a maximum limit, that's why it's not doing all of them, but it's doing enough to make it sound really shit, and that's not what we want. So instead of play all on the overlap down here, we want to click random. So now every key press, it will play a random sample from this bank. Perfect. So I'm going to set up a quick pattern. So every time one of these notes is triggered, it will play a random sample. And then I'm going to put a limiter on here, just bring it up a little bit. And then this is DFX Scrubby, which is a free plugin I grabbed off KVR. These guys do have their own website as well, DFX. I haven't really played with this too much. I'm not 100% savvy on how it works, but I have noticed if you open this seek rate to about here, open the brackets a little, get your range down here, and start to play stuff back, you'll start to get some really, really cool results. And I'm going to open up the stereo link into split here so we get a big wide stereo field as well. And you can kind of play with the options to find a sweet spot depending on what you're playing back. So that is essentially how I made all those mechanical movement sounds. I also had this serum patch, which I made as part of my Noisevember videos again. I think this was number 16. And I just played with the depth and feedback of the phaser and flanger. So that was essentially how I made the Glitch.cool sounds. I hope you've enjoyed that little insight into those processes. It's a really good way to get really quick glitch sound results. Just want to say thanks to all the Glitch.cool fam for being cool. Thanks.